Hello, I'm Greg, a sailor, a bagpiper, and an all-around jack of all trades. Continuing my work on sailing vessel Slow Air. Today I am going to pull the new cable for the anemometer through the mast and see if we can get that project done and installed. So let's go out and take a look and see what we can get done. All right, so my new fish tape just arrived, and now I'm going to see if I can run it all the way down the mast. We'll see what happens. Oh, son of a gun. Oh, no. Phew. I rolled the mast over. I was looking, thinking, where'd the VHF antenna wire go? It's on the bottom side. Ah, phew. All right. So I'm going to see if I can run the fish tape all the way down through this, all the way down to the bottom of the mast. Well, now I know how much needs to go all the way down. Well, that went fairly easily, which scares the daylights out of me. And here's the fish wire. Well, came right out. Okay, so I do know that I need to pull the wires down from the top, pull them through this way. I don't think there's any way that I can get the fish wire all the way back up and into this little hole. There are four screws that can take the top of the mast off, but I don't want to go through that much time and effort. So I'm going to get a string, tie it to the fish wire, pull the fish wire back, and now have the string through, and then I'll use the string to pull the anemometer wire back down through. So let me go grab that and see where we go. Well, I can see the spool of string unraveling at the other end. Yeah. Aha! And there's the string. Don't know how many turns are on this drum I've got. Way more than I want. Yikes. There's a lot of wire here. But it's got to go all the way down the mast and then all the way through the boat to wherever we ultimately want. Holy mackerel. There we go. That's the last turn. Well, didn't think that through properly. Well, it looks like it's going. All right, so now I just need to take this wire, stretch it out carefully. And start pulling it through. All right, well, I've got the end of the wire now. So that wire is completely run through. Got a little rat's nest here that I need to untangle. Oh. Well, that was stupid of me. I get to do this again. This wire, I don't want it going through this bracket. This is going to be mounted right here. And so the wire would just go around that point. This is where the antenna, the VHF antenna, is going to hook up. And that was pretty dumb of me. So, pull the wire all the way back and do it again. The real challenge now is all the plugs. Oh good, they came out. It's funny, that was running through my head that, did I really want to do that? I was like, yeah, that works. No, it doesn't. All right. Now, we go that way. Well, you know, it's fairly easy, so. Back and forth up the mast. That didn't work. All right, I think that's through. Okay. That looks a little bit better. I think that's going to work. Let me grab the fitting. Okay, I like that. Yep, and this is the double checking. Here's the back side where the main runs up that track. So that's aft. This is fore. It's going to be heading out fore. Works for me. So now I've got to drill a couple of holes and then top them, and then put two small bolts through there to hold this all together. I think that'll all work. Let me grab my drill bit and a drill. Okay, 3/16. Let's take this off so we don't do any damage to anything. All right, making progress. All right, so the holes are drilled. In tapping, you turn a little bit and then back up to break off the cut metal. Now I think I'm all the way in. Perfect. This is not the greatest tap. All right. That's good. Now, I don't know what this fitting is. I'm going to take that off. Go get another screwdriver. Well, in the never-ending saga, I'd mentioned I didn't want to take off the head of the mast. Well, guess what? I had to take off the head of the mast. So when I tried to pull the new antenna wire through, it just didn't want to fit through the little hole. It wasn't working. There's nothing happening. So I'm like, okay, I'll take the 4 screws out. Well, I took the 4 screws out, and then the fair lead that the jib halyard went through, of course, those screws snapped off. That one is still there and broken off. This one I managed to back out. Anyway, so what I discovered is that there's a track running inside the mast, and these little slides were, the wire was zip tied together at lots of points, all up and down, and those little tracks slide through this little slot, and that way all of the lines are together, secured in the extrusion, and they don't slam around as much when they're inside the boat or inside the mast when the boat's at anchor. So I guess in hindsight it was a good thing that I had to take the head off, because I was able to redo all of these little zip ties and hooks. So now, of course, I get to try to feed all of this back down the mast. You're probably getting seasick as I move in and out on all of these little zip ties that we're clipping off. So the challenge now is, how do we get this all back down inside the mast? The wire for the anemometer, is still connected to a string and still running through the mast. I think at this point these wires if I take the anemometer wire and the antenna wire and put them together, they're both way too long, but that's okay. So now, if I tape these two together, and start pulling these wires through, So, all those wires are now here. I think I will tape this together just to keep things moving nicely through the mast. And I'll try to feed this first track through. I'm going to get some lubricant. So I've mixed up some dish soap and water. Hopefully that'll be a little bit more slippery. Well, I now have 2 of the wires to the bottom of the mast. Now something's binding up. right, well, let's back this out and try again. Well, there's a bolt running through the middle of the mast. I can't tell, but I think when I ran the fish tape through, it went above the bolt. And the track that the wires are going into runs below. So I'm going to try running my fish tape again. Pull all the wires out, start all over. Alrighty, so now I'm going to run the fish tape from the other end. And now we can just attach the fish tape to the wire rather than running a string and all the rest. I can see that the fish wire ran under that bolt. Oh man, am I having fun. So, I was able to pull the wires through after the GoPro battery went dead. I've got the mast, the head of the mast put back on. Nothing is tightened down yet. There was a fair lead here for the jib halyard. Not quite sure why, but anyway, those two screws snapped off. This one I was able to back the remains out from the inside. That one I could not get. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about that fair lead at this point. So all of these wires, the wind speed indicator, the mast headlight, and the antenna are all pulled through. The shrouds are back on, the boots are on. I managed to get the wire pulled back through here for, that's the deck light and the anchor light, which is this new light that's going to go on there. I just need 4 self-tapping stainless steel sheet metal screws so that I can fasten that and then connect the wires. And then it's just connecting things at the base here. Put a new plug on the antenna lead. Cut this is the wind speed, cut that off, and then put the new connector on these lights, and then test everything before, before we go too far. Absolutely want to test everything, and that's why I haven't put everything on the head of the mast back together, because I want to test everything and make sure that all the lights are working, because I would hate to put that all back together again and then discover I have to take something apart to fix it. Oh, seems the faster I go, the behinder I get. So here is my leftover stuff. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so there's 6 of those, and then 2 larger ones. One is the back stay, one is the head stay, and then these 6 are all the side stays. And then, of course, they saved all of the cotter pins, which is just crazy because you are never supposed to reuse cotter pins. Once you've opened them up once, you've weakened them. And I just can't imagine wanting to put weakened hardware back in a place that's going to hold my mast up. Doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. Alrighty. Well, I guess I'm going to stop and take a run down to West Marine and take a look at their VHF radios. So wrapping up another day, we did get the anemometer cable pulled through the mast. That's a good thing. So thank you for following SV Slow Air. Please hit the like button if you've enjoyed my content, and don't forget to subscribe so you get updates when new videos come out. Thank you very much for following me.